The 2014 ITM Cup is proudly brought to you by the Tui Brewery.
It's a cracking afternoon in Dunedin in New Zealand's South Island for this game. Otago taking on North Harbour. North Harbour, it's been 11 long seasons since they've won a game in Dunedin. Otago have won 4 of the last 5 between these two. And here is the Harbour side. It's got a new tinge to it. Richard Turner joins me in commentary. Some familiar faces, but plenty of debutants.
Yeah, absolutely, but exciting debutants and some comfortable familiarity there, Sumo. So yes, not a great season last season for North Harbour, but looking for some good improvement this year.
So have a look for Halangahu and McGann in the 10 and 12 jerseys. Ratu Maitavuki was supposed to start in the 12 jersey today, but he has been taken ill, so he is on the bench as emergency cover only, meaning McGann gets his first start in the 12 jersey rather than 10 where he was listed. Otago's side also has a look of refreshment to it. Trent Renata has come down from Waikato where he scored 120 points last season for them. 60 odd games for the Mulus. Fuatai and Spence, powerful wing combination. Renton and Parker in the halves, and much will be asked too of Liam Coltman. Hisa Sasangi and Aki Seuli in the front row. As we have a look at this Harbour side, Hayden Triggs debuting against his old outfit today. Also played for Manawatu. And Otago, now North Harbour, man at the Blues, and another right there, James Parsons. He's been relieved of the captaincy this season in favour of Bryn Hall, but not because he's done anything wrong, Richard, just because Steve Jackson says concentrate on your game so we can advance your career.
Yeah, absolutely, and he will relish the lack of responsibility, I guess it is. James Parsons focused solely on his game, and he is looking forward to a big 2014 ITM Cup season.
Jordan Manahiro there on your screen, and Nafi Tuatavaki, another big year for him. Plenty to prove for Nafi. He plays centre today. We are more accustomed to seeing him on the wing, but he's moved in. So the 13 jersey is his, and so much expected of this Harbour side. Otago, meanwhile, they were beaten finalists in the championship, beaten semi-finalists last year. And Charlie O'Connell, big moment for him, getting to captain his Otago side. He was speaking in the Otago Daily Times today about what it means to him to play for Otago, a side that his family have represented over generations. And Charlie gets his chance today, and a special moment for one of the good guys around these parts. Sasangi and Seuli, as we mentioned, in that front row, coached by Case Muse. James Yenke's on debut today out of Canterbury, has come down, the open side flanker. Talking to the injured Kieran Moffat today, said he can play. So we look forward to seeing what he can do. And Richard Turner with a very special message.
Yes, Sumo, the New Zealand rugby community mourns the loss of a great man, rugby player, husband, father and grandfather, with the sad news of the passing of Kevin Barry this morning. One of life's true gentlemen. I personally, and on behalf of all those who had the pleasure of knowing Kev, send my deepest condolences to the Barry family during this very, very sad time.
Of being both the son and father of an All Black, as well as pulling on the All Black jersey himself. While not playing a test, Kevin Barry played 23 matches for the All Blacks, scoring 8 tries, and even, unusually for a loose forward, kicking a conversion. He also holds the enviable record of never being in a losing All Black team. His reputation as a large, loose forward who could play lock, along with his no-nonsense attitude, ensured his reputation preceded him onto the field. When his playing days were over, his commitment to the game continued. He tirelessly gave his time to the local rugby community. Kevin Barry was 78 at the time of his passing. Ladies and gentlemen, I would kindly ask you now, please stand for a moment's silence.
So Kevin Barry, our condolences to the Barry family, and I know how close to their family my co-commentator Richard Turner is. Very moving time for the Barrys, and we know that the rugby community will be supporting you through this tough time.
Make sure it's on behind that line, though.
Kane McBride, the referee today, James Dolman and Sheldon Eden-Faititi on the sidelines, Chris Hart, the TMO, and on our sideline, Calvin Middleton.
Good afternoon everyone. Absolutely fantastic conditions. We've talked about the smorgasbord of rugby. Let's get into the entree.
Well, it's a triple header today on Sky Sport. ITM Cup continues throughout the afternoon as we prepare for Bledisloe Cup Test number 1. But the only thing on the minds of these players is victory here in their opening clash. And Parker gets us underway. Raikkonen straight into the action, taken in the tackle of Lee Allen. And Bryn Hall, this season's captain for Harbour, former New Zealand under-20s captain, of course, making the Blues number 9 jersey his own at the moment. Renata got a ball away to Spence, and now Collins trying to look for the cut. And Walden taken down just inside the touchline. On the 10-metre line, they get the first penalty of the game, and very kickable for Hayden Parker.
A good positive opening for Otago, and I guess really, Sumo, we discussed this before the game. The expectation from both these sides is that they will move the ball, and Otago getting first opportunity, certainly showing that intent. Early penalty on debut, Mario Ozic, the 7 for North Harbour. Getting it wide here. Looking for the cut, good defence. North Harbour pushed wide, and then you have a look there, Ozic on the side. It's coming through. Deemed to have not come through the gate, so early points opportunity from the boot of Hayden Parker.
Well, last season this Harbour side forced opposition teams into making the most tackles of anyone in the competition. It wasn't for their attacking intent that they couldn't buy a victory last year, just the 1 win, 1 draw. But their defensive effort was not up to the task, and while they scored a few points of their own, they certainly leaked a bundle.
Yeah, it's certainly been a focus in the off-season for them. That has been a worrying one for North Harbour, just leaking on average 30+ points a game. And as we say, Scotty, it doesn't matter what level of the game you're playing, if you give the opposition 30 points and try and chase them down, you're always going to lose more than you win.
So Hayden Parker with his first attempt of the season. He's on target early, but it hits the bar. Just short as well. Osic now under real pressure, forced into the end goal by Lentke's. Sharp work from the Otago 7 on debut today.
Oh, this is what we like to see, yeah, just not quite having the legs. James Lynch, he's heard a lot about him down here. He's played strong for club, ex-Canterbury system player. So we'll look to see how he goes further on in the game.
Stand straight, wait for me. Crouch!
Well, certainly looking forward to this aspect of the game. First opportunity, scrum time for both these sides, season 2014.
Brenton with the feed. O'Connell has come around and they've lost possession. In fact, it's been claimed in there by Linkis. Now picked up by Coltman. Just a metre short, the Otago hooker, as they go pick and drive. Well defended on this occasion by the Harbour forwards. Nick Mayhew right amongst it. Coltman gets Nansen on the top of him. Picked up. Allen. Renton. Wide ball this time. Parker looking for the inside ball. Spence was there, but Parker took the tackle. And they win the penalty again, this time offside the call.
Well, playing under penalty advantage through a couple of phases there, Otago. So, second penalty. Infringement it was. And Otago this time much more kickable position for Parker.
Over the top. You, yes, you.
Parker with 170 points last season. Renata with 120 for a different team. Good goal-kicking options at Tony Brown's disposal.
Yeah, that's right. You're not going to have too many opportunities to get the radar working because, as you say, Sumo, good backup here for Otago, but Parker, pretty reliable goal kicker. First one, a difficult opportunity. This one for a kicker of his ability. Pretty much a given.
Parker's good. And the Highlanders pivot. And Otago pivot. Gets the first 3 points in the bag for the season. 3 points to 0, Otago over Harbour.
Just got a comment from down here on the sideline. Absolutely piping hot. She's almost singlet weather.
Get the guns out, Calv. A lot of people walking around Dunedin today in shorts.
Oh, yeah, double digits in the sun out, and they're rolling the T-shirts and the shorts down here.
Daniel Halangahu gets us underway. Halangahu spent some time with the Waratahs, as his coach used to call him, Halangahu. Renton from the box. No real challenge on the chase. Here's Big Jim. To TVTEAM. And Jim's away. Good stepping from the Harbour number 8. That's why he's in the side, but lost ball. Chance to counter-attack for Renata. Has numbers on the outside, decides to kick. And well covered. Devsic in good position, claims the fair catch.
Oh, good promising carry. Jim to 80. North Harbour number 8. Worked hard in the off-season, pre-season. Here's Jim. And his first opportunity to carry ball looks good, but Otago are off and going to play this game at pace.
Renata switches back to Spence. Spence trying to get through the tackle of Bryn Hall. Up towards the 10. That's Liam Coltman in possession. Renton now with a short side play. Spence again. Lynchies is there, and he's over the touchline. So not a great finish to that period of phase play for Otago.
Happy to play
Get them on you.
in the short channel, right hand side of the field. Otago. And Lynchies just losing perspective on where he is on the ground. So soft finish, and Parsons the opportunity now.
I was happy where they were.
Everyone getting a practice jump in here for James Parsons. Nick Mayhew carrying on a fine family tradition of loving to chuck tin around by the look of his biceps. Say hello to the Mayhew boys plying their trade in the UK. I'm sure they're tuning into this one. And drop goal. Play was on for Harbour, but the mistake is made. Tavita Lee comes up with the error. Now Otago with a counter-attack opportunity. Good run from Sasangi. Renton comes back in. Charging onto the ball was Tom Franklin. Good season for him with the Highlanders this year. O'Connell plies his trade in this city, selling the local product. New Zealand beer fans will know what I'm talking about. We go again. Here's Sauli on a big cart, runs straight into Parsons. Renton again to Parker. And Parker decides to settle things down with a touch finder, and the grub is a good one.
Yeah, good discipline, Otago. Certainly their initial intent is to have a go. Showing good patience, good discipline. When there's nothing there, happy to play the field position game, keep North Harbour pinned inside their own 22.
Here's the kick from Bryn Hall. And this one will find touch, and a fair touch at that. So good ground made from the halfback. Kelvin, you just get the feeling that straight back into the Tony Brown setup for this Otago team. Run at will.
Oh, and that's the way they love it. That's the way they pick their team. They're light, they're fast. They do a lot of kicking, get themselves in position to score the points, be it by a try or they love those penalties.
Ball is good for Franklin. Renton popped it up. Tay Warden got the ball back to Renton, but then the pass to Parker no good, and it's gone forward. Fuatai and Vane look to carry things on. So we'll have a scrum. This one in midfield. We've seen in the opening 2 games, Pod, that the execution's slightly down in terms of handling errors. A lot of nervous players out there. Opening weekend of ITM Cup, lots to prove. And the pace of the game up a notch from the pre-season matches.
Oh, no doubt about that. And clearly, when you're actually into the competition, a lot more riding on results. So just that early bedding down period for all sides in this competition. But certainly impressed with Otago's attitude early in this match. North Harbour with their first real
Gone down.
opportunity to act, albeit that it is in their own half.
We saw a lot of scrums last night in the Salford match, and
Slow it down.
referee on that occasion, Brendan Pickerel, handled the situation very well, was quick on the set. Referees have been looking at getting these scrums set within 30 seconds. Ball in, ball out, let's carry on the play. And Pickerel was very good in that department last night, controlling the scrums, which are always bound to be testy so early in the season. Hall will feed, and the feed is good. TVTEAM comes out the back with it. Brent Hall now again. It's boot to ball, and this one out on the full.
Well, it was a reasonably elaborate move from North Harbour. Move from the set piece to the right of the scrum, looking to put the fullback Devsich coming at pace into space, and the execution was poor from Brent Hall.
Tom Franklin, the go-to guy at line-out time. Parker now looking for Fuatai, found him. Renata up from fullback, better from Otago. Here's Spence. Renton quickly there as lazy runners come through. Joe Ladder on debut today. It's a proud Otago name, that. Loose at the back. Manahira fighting for possession. He's not alone. Davidi waiting off, looking for a chance at a tackle. No one makes this one though. Back in field, O'Connell got his ball away. Walden now infield. Charlie O'Connell, one pass on to do it. Lynchy thinks he's scored. We'll have a check.
Well, take my North Harbour patch off here, Sumo, and say certainly on merit. It deserves a try. Spectacular stuff.
It's the ITM Cup.
Spectacular stuff from Otago.
Thank you.
This lovely interplay by player passing. Some very good decisions from ball carriers.
The support play too of Charlie O'Connell, the captain. Here's the end. This is the all-important question for Chris Hart, the TMO. Look at that foot, he's in
That's
touch.
Out. Vita Lee.
Yes, Chris. So foot and touch, line out to White.
So there's the decision, confirmation from the TMO.
And touch, line out.
Charlie O'Connell, who worked hard to get round the ball carrier. Michael Collins,
Understand there's no
big in the play as well. And Harbour's drift just falling off. So Parsons gets the throw into Manahira. Brent Hall looking to throw it around in their own end goal. Tuvaiti again. That is another solid card from the 8. Hall has support real deep. Won't need it as he kicks from the base. And this one drifts down, and Fuatai back in field straight away. The first instinct to run. Trent Renata probably wishes he hadn't. Franklin. Good carry from him. Now the forwards arrive en masse, but Harbour may have fancied themselves at a turnover. They get that. Brent Hall finds some space in behind Renata. The bounce is favourable. Heading for the touchline. Renata won't shut it down. Good play from the Harbour captain.
Yeah, good play, Brent Hall. The execution spot on that time. Roll it back and have a look at the build-up to Otago's best opportunity. Here they go. Look at the bypass, the byplay. And it was the skipper, O'Connell, Charlie Connor, that stayed in touch. Ran some good lines and just wasn't rewarded for his efforts in the end.
Wait there. Hold!
One of our viewers, Regan Dunn, reminding us that it's two St Kevin's College boys up against each other here on different teams. Devsich and O'Connell. Devsich, of course, had a couple of games for Otago back in 2006.
Yes.
So he's certainly been around the traps. Thanks, Regan, for the tip.
Good exit play from Otago there.
Middle.
Josh Renton, big season for him as he looks to make some ground and work his way into Highlanders contention. Straight away to McGann, who just counts it straight into the tackle. Here's Mayhew, Trigger's there. And Triggs with a good clean out, making room for Brent Hall. Now the pass to Tavita Lee. Lee gonna fend on. What a try, Tavita Lee.
Chris, I need you here, please.
Well, North Harbour's
Check at that last ruck. Potential obstruction.
first real opportunity. We're going to come upstairs looking for a potential obstruction.
That's on Triggs. They want to see if Hayden Triggs has taken a body out behind the ruck, clearing that space for Bryn Hall.
So that's Triggs on the clean out. So
I don't really have any issue with that whatsoever. I think that's a pretty fair...
He's got rid of a body.
yeah,
Absolutely, that's exactly what you program
there you
those
go.
forwards to
Yeah,
do.
I've got no issue with that, Calvin, either.
And the issue really is here where Franklin comes around, overruns the
So am I.
tackle
I'll go for the
position.
try. Thank you.
Confirmation from Chris Hart to Vita Lee. Gets his first of the season for North Harbour. Won't be his last.
No doubt about that, and certainly encouraging for North Harbour fans to see Tavita Lee at his very best finishing. Nominated for IRB Junior Player of the Year after the Under-20 IRB World Championships earlier this year. And has certainly brought that form straight into this ITM Cup campaign, and that is exciting news for North Harbour fans. Daniel Halanahu
Tough chance for Halangahu for his first points for North Harbour. Oh, he struck it well. And that's over. Daniel Halangahu makes it 7. 7 points to 3. Harbour in front.
Well, they're a bit shell-shocked here down on the sideline. Plenty in the crowd. They had Schoolboy march through. Just see it here. Absolute great clean out by Triggs and beautiful run here by Bryn Hall. Straight up the guts. Absolutely open wide. And as you said, he's done it all year. Tavita Lee, nice in and out and fend off.
Nansen from the kickoff. Bryn Hall will kick if he can clear the ball, which he can't. Otago dishing out a bit of medicine on Hayden Triggs. This time he's on the receiving end. Charlie O'Connell has the ball, taken by Parsons. Bryn Hall was there as well. Now a chance for some width. Here's Collins in his blazer game for Otago today, and Renata flicked the ball inside. Collins was in the right place. Nuffy Tuitavaki called upon to defend. Now it's backs and forwards, picked up. Tuitavaki loses it in contact. Will come back for offside.
Yeah, under advantage again. North Harbour just too keen, too quick out of the blocks, defending the breakdown. The turnover came, some good counter rucking from Otago. Solid positive intent at the breakdown.
Entry, what?
Very physical at that breakdown down here on the sideline, absolutely crushing each other, and then certainly Hayden Triggs, he got a wee bit of welcome back material served to him.
Well, Triggs in the team for those sorts of plays, getting in there, clearing bodies. It's what he does so well. But there is the offside play from Greg Pleasant's tape.
No, you.
Needed to go north to south, and he went east to west, and that's always asking for trouble, especially when you're a big man. Pretty obvious penalty. So the man known as Quasi, Hayden Parker. He has kicked some goals on this ground, the young fella. Parker goes, he likes the look of it, but that's over. stayed and stared, and he willed it over the bar, did Hayden Parker. And the assistant referees put the flags up. We've got a 1-point game, 7-6 the score.
Well, he loves kicking his goals, that boy. Otago last year with a team with the topmost penalties kicked, 39 in total.
Trick play from the restart. Tavita Lee got up, and it's been knocked on. The guard just couldn't hold on to the ball. And we'll come back for the scrum. No advantage.
Crouch!
Mayhew.
Bind!
He's Sasagi. Feed from Renton. And it's good ball too. Good scrum. Otago goes away to Renata, standing at first receiver. Width for Hayden Parker. He goes high with the ball. Taken down by Devsic, who turns and starts, gets an offload away. Tuatavaki trapped it with the foot and then picked it up. Ball is there for Brynholm. Bunched up. Mayhew. Greg Pleasant's take this time. Good clean out from him. And the ball available and picked out by Nansen. The intercept was on. Tay Walden thought he was a chance to nab that ball and go under the bar, but as it stands, Harbour still in possession and on attack. Raikuna. Tuivati puts the head down this time. Never fails to make a metre or two, does Big Jim. And this time gives away a penalty though. Holding on is the call.
Just that fraction of a second delay in the support play getting there, but gee, Tuivati looking fit, looking strong. As you say, Suma, again chomping up the yards whenever he touches the ball.
Very good aspect from both sides have been these lineouts. Both Coltman, Parsons hitting their marks, creating good go-to ball. Give them a good launching pad to set from.
Here's the territory stat. Overwhelmingly in Otago's favour. They go again. Tay Walden, what is he doing? Mike Collins, what a play! What a play! Fuatai scores for Otago. That is just trickery and illusion.
That is Tony Brown at his best.
Well, I'll tell you what, they would have practiced that on numerous occasions on the training field quite clearly, but never in their wildest dreams would they have thought that it would come off and work. Look at that. Players in motion everywhere. The switcher direction and the timing spot on from Fuatai. What about the step?
I can retire. If the season finished tomorrow, I'd be happy after seeing that try. That is quite remarkable.
Yeah, that's deception at its very, very best. So good. North Harbour players just caught looking.
Fasu Fuatai on the end of the chain. Unreal. Here's Hayden Parker to convert. Handy position for Parker. No drama for him. Two more in the bank. 13-7 the scoreline. And Otago have some points to show for their territorial domination.
And you see the call coming. Otago supporters, big 10 minutes here for them. Themselves back in front in this match, so
Messi from the restart, gifting Harbour the ball at line-out time. Those are the sorts of things we speak about often. Scoring points so crucial to regain possession by Middleton.
Yeah, just the basics of the game, and as we've talked about, whereas these early stages, pre-season games mean nothing. You get into this is real McCoy. You got your pressure on, everyone running at you, things do change.
That try. Good grief. Here's Bryn Hall, looking for some space through the line-out. Picked up by Manahira. And here's Tuiveti again. Keen for work. Hall. Popped it up for Triggs. Triggs now with support from Parsons is holding on. Otago fall over the top, win the penalty. It just looked bad, and it was bad.
Yep, and probably an area of concern now for North Harbour. Number of penalties they've conceded now, 6. Otago through 23 minutes of rugby yet to concede 1.
Yeah, Otago are certainly throwing their numbers in there, and that's, as you said, Sumo, North Harbour got to be well aware they've got to up their numbers at that breakdown.
Here's Triggs, just got isolated in the support play. Manahira and Parsons couldn't get low enough on Sasangi and Coltman. So a fair turnover.
Yeah, also some discipline required from the ball carrier, Sumo, just to stay stronger on their feet for that fraction of a second to allow the support play to get there.
Quick shot there of Tony Brown, obviously scribbling the next backline move. Great pass from Parker, finds Collins. Now a chance, Renata. 3 shorties taken down, 5 in from touch. Renton quickly there, and they will concede a penalty on the Harbour goal line.
Number 14.
Oh, Jaden Spence. They certainly have. All of a sudden, it's like they've been given a confidence pill.
From there, not up there.
And they've gone straight to the Tony Brown book of tricks. Jaden Spence here, one deemed to have infringed, just said they hadn't committed an offence. That was their first one. But again, just players in motion. Look at this, all over the place. The switch of direction, the Harbour defence at 6s and 7s. The defensive line's broken, it's staggered. And as soon as that happens, there's an opportunity to get in behind that advantage line and cause all sorts of havoc.
Halfway now.
Getting some width. Here's Tuiveti again. Good carry from the number 8. We spoke to Coach Steve Jackson before the game. Real traditional ball-carrying number 8 that he's chosen. Tuiveti's been on the edge of selection over the last few seasons, but never really used. Nansen now into the attack. Better clean out from Manahira. Assuring good quality ball for Bryn Hall. Halangahu. Renata looking up into the sunshine.
Coming out, Blue.
Diffused here by the roof of Forsyth Bar Stadium. Halangahu again. Spence right over the top of him. They'll fight for possession. They'll win possession. What a turnover from Jaden Spence. Here's Fuatai. That try of his will be talked about, I am sure, over the coming week. And probably much longer. Renton. Double pump from him before he found Walden with a wide ball. Well read by the Harbour defensive line. It's there, and Renton gets crushed by a couple of big boys. Pleasance Tate is happy just to lie there like a Labrador in the sunshine. Carried on. Parker whipping the ball across. Collins again into the line, makes half a break, feeds it up to Renata. Renata back to Renton. Now a chance, but Tay Walden gets hammered. Hayden Triggs blindsided him, and then the ball has lost no advantage.
Oh, Hayden Triggs, he had that lined up from about 2 passes before, just willing the ball to keep coming in that direction, and it did so.
Oh yeah, they love these shots, don't they? Big forwards. Just, yeah, as you say, just a blindsided him. Great run there from Renata. The Otago doing so well on the popping that ball down, but boom, that's a stopper.
You need the stopper. Certainly. North Harbour, Otago. Full of energy, full of enthusiasm.
shoulders down. He's going in.
I think we're going to see that record beating today, Sumo.
Hard to say.
Just when we get over close enough.
I wouldn't have thought so. There is Tony Brown.
It's causing
Looking overly happy, is he?
No, he's not. No.
Looks like he's had a haircut for the game as well. When we played with Brownie, there was an unwritten rule he was not allowed to cut his hair. As soon as he did, we lost.
Is that right, Bun?
That's correct.
Need your head shoulders up. The last scrum wasn't good enough.
That would have confounded Gordon Hunter. On one hand, he would have demanded a haircut. On the other hand, he was that superstitious, he probably went along with the plan.
Bind! Sit!
Solid scrum from Otago, so Fuvaiti has to come off the back with it. Does well to get away from the attention of Renton. Still there. Now a chance to break out. That's good play from Devsic. And a quick ball as well to McGann, and McGann will look for touch and will find touch. Good clearance ultimately, but Otago just want to keep the pace on the game. Here's Renata. He will go skywards. Chasing hard as Fuatai, but Devsic has it all to himself.
Yeah, and happy to just slow the game down. Luke Devsic.
Halangahu. And Harbour just having to suck in some big lungfuls of air here at North Harbour at Forsyth Bar Stadium. Otago have really upped the game pace on them. And they have been forced to make some tackles. Here's Devsic again, carving off territory with the boot. Renata returns fire with an old-fashioned spiral. And this one will find touch just short of the 22.
He's not a bad replacement for Ben Smith, is he?
It was a great pickup for Otago. Trent Renata. He's a footballer.
8 missed tackles already for North Harbour, 3 for Otago. Those are the sort of stats that Steve Jackson will be keen to get out of the game. They just can't seem to play any footy inside Otago's half pod. That's going to be the challenge in the second spell. Still 10 minutes of this one left. Dropped, picked up. Chance again for Otago now as they pour through. O'Connell popped the ball up for Joe Latta, and the debutant goes within 6. Sauli, strong carry from the loose head prop. Now a chance for Parker. Walden inside ball. Fuatai gets the double.
Oh, Otago again. Just quality ball movement, quality decisions from ball carriers.
Absolute great team effort that. Those big fat boys up front, they're making the yards, allowing the ball to free up for the backs. Nice wide ball and inside there. And look at them. Did well to get over there. 3 men all over him like a rash.
Yeah, and the good thing is here, 2 Bones, they had players outside, so they had options left and right. So North Harbour defence having to make decisions on the fly. Fasil, Fuatai, that's the double. More importantly, Otago keep the scoreboard ticking over. Good reward for a pretty dominant first 30 minutes.
Yeah. There's probably no team in New Zealand more comfortable with the inside ball than the Otago side. They rehearse it, they practice it, they perfect it. Hayden Parker especially has become so adept at finding the man inside and in converting his tries. 20 points to 7 the score. But you've always got a threat, and it's a double threat if not a triple threat every time the Otago backline is called into play.
Well, that's right, and that's exactly what you want. You want the opposition defensive line to be thinking, to be having to make decisions on the fly, and the best decisions are 50-50. Do I stay out? Do I come in? Do I keep an eye on the guy coming on the inside? What happens if he does? What happens if he doesn't? And then I've still got to, I've still got to stay in my man-on-man situation when I'm in the 22. So at the moment, it's all going good for Otago.
More solid work up front too. Latta. Good carry, following in the footsteps of Tom Franklin, who really worked hard for that last try. Harbour had some space, but they just have no connection on attack. Here is Renata again. Spiral bomb from Renata. This one challenging, and it's Halangahu. Does not call for the catch. Fuatai is back, so is Renata. Chase line is slack from Harbour. And all the time in the world for Trent to find a touch, and he finds a great one too. Up towards the 22 we go again.
With Harbour forward to be getting sick of doing this, soon they get inside their own half and then find themselves turning around and trudging back.
Well, perhaps put some pressure on the kick. That'd be my advice there.
That's right.
James Parsons. Osich standing at the front, the Harbour number 7. They go to Triggs. Straight down to Hall, who found Tuvaiti. Again, the kick is the option. And again, it's swallowed up by Otago. And again, it's Renata who returns fire. Halangahu, station wide. Will they look to play some ball? No dice. And they'll find touch instead.
And see what Otago are doing here. Plenty of return kicks. They're happy once it's kicked to them, they're just going to boot it right back and see who wins the battle.
.33 gone in the first half as Coltman throws the ball, not straight by the looks, but carry on as the call from McBride. Here's Walden. Walden misses, finds Renata, drops it off for Spence. And back for Walden. The tackle of Tavita Lee. Harbour trying to get over the ball, can't do so. Coltman with a short ball. Franklin now offloads. Aki Sayuli, how did he hold that? Eventually it spills out. Fuatai. Here is David Raikkonen through the ball. Halangahu from inside his 22. We're stuck in a loop here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a loop that Otago won't mind getting stuck in because Harbour going nowhere. Otago the side with the 20 points on the board. 71% territorial dominance. Possession, North Harbour ironically with a slight edge there, but certainly Otago have been far more efficient with their use of possession.
Easy pickings for Joe Ladder. Walden. Good width, don't they? Flat back line, 2 quick passes. They set in centre field. This time they concede. And some relief here for North Harbour. They may look to consolidate some time within the Otago half. Halangahu will find a touch.
You called that well, Sumo. They are certainly looking for width off those set plays, especially the line-outs. Plenty of movement, plenty of angles. See here, just not quite getting the numbers. Good steal from North Harbour.
Tuvaiti was in there first to make the tackle. It's a good story for Big Jim, isn't it? It just shows you keep plugging away. Here's Raikkonen, taken down. Good tackle from Lynches. Pumped up to Manahira. Another one who's been floating on the edge of Super Rugby selection for a couple of seasons. Pleasance Tate. 5 out from the Otago line. They look to steal. They've affected the turnover again. Renton clears away, and Spence will kick for touch. And he finds touch up towards the halfway line. No angle. That is a heck of a kick. Play on is the call. Tavita Lee on the cut. Now they're outnumbered at the breakdown again, but Harbour come away with a short side play. McGahn back in field, but he's
put his foot out.
touch.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, if you can see the ground, Plenty of boys down and out. They're breathing hard. We'll be looking forward to a little water at half-time.
There's a couple having a little bo peep at the clock. So here we go, North Harbour. Taking it in to contact. I thought I saw a little blue hand swoop in there. Oh, he's on his feet, so yeah, no, well done. Very well done. Otago, so been dominant in that phase too. Have Otago breakdown turnovers, 6 of them they've affected against North Harbour. North Harbour conversely only the 2 in return. Here it is.
I sometimes wonder though, Clyde, whether players go into the breakdown looking to clean the man instead of watching where the ball is. The game is still about having possession of the ball.
I'll come back to my previous point too, also as a ball carrier, you know, you've got to have an awareness of where your support players are. So if you know that they're not quite there, then you've just got to take that extra half a step, stay stronger on your feet before you commit yourself to going down to recycle the ball.
Leonard again, this time a mistaken line-out time from Otago, gifting the ball to Harbour with 3 minutes left on the clock.
Number 5, offside.
And Tom Franklin then gets himself in an offside position, making it worse.
Well, here's a good opportunity for Harbour. Poke it down into the corner, have one last dig. He's having a point at the post, I don't know, but no. Gets the overall from skipper Bryn Hall.
So the one try to Harbour. They got the try scoring underway today. TVTEAM on the back of a great Bryn Hall break. But since then, it's been all about Otago with a Parker penalty and 2 Fuatai tries. And here's the knock on. And then have a look at Tom Franklin, who just comes through and kicks the ball ahead. Triggs. Good take from him in the back to evade. He goes the other way back to Parsons. Hall. Pleasance take. Picked up by Osage. Osage coming out of the Waitemata club where he's been a stalwart over several seasons. More than 100 games for the club. Came across the bridge looking for a chance. 4 short of the Otago line. Here's Mayhew. Hall picks it up, scrappy ball. He'll have a dig. Can't get there, still a metre out. Otago think they may have got a turnover here. Instead, they've given away another penalty. And we've got an injured player on the deck, Nick Mayhew.
Yeah, Mayhew's still down from the carry. Look happy. They're good. A few phases of play for North Harbour. Bit of urgency inside Otago's 22. Good pick and go.
You know what's happened here? He's missed leg day.
There he is, out wide in the carry. It's a big man holding on to a big man's leg. I guess ultimately it's going to end in tears for somebody.
He stayed down. Now he gets up. He's limping away. Geez, put together, isn't he?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Grief.
Decision time here for Harbour. So do they go to the line out? Mayhew looks like he's okay, but do they put pressure on him at scrum time? No, it looks like the option is to...
You know what's going to happen here? They're going to strap the boot up. This is a bugbear of yours. It's going to come. The tape's going to go around the boot.
He's coming off, Hardy, number 3.
Oh no, he's gone by the looks of it. Nick Mayhew.
Well, it's a sad way to finish for Nick Mayhew. He was warming into his work. Hopefully that's not too serious, but it does give us a chance to have a look at Frank Friganet, which is a phonetically sound name if ever there was one.
Just rolls off the tongue too. A bloke that's been plying his trade at club rugby level. North Harbour Bees, there or thereabouts, and determined. Nothing else. Freaking it.
Okay, release. Over here, Tim.
Well, he gets a shot today. earlier than he would have expected, but you take your opportunities in this code. Halangahu goes for the sideline, so we'll have a 5-metre line out into the final minute of the first half. It's been an entertaining first half. Parsons with a crunch throw. He's got Triggs at the back. Manahira comes forward. They lift Nansen. Now they try to set the ball. Otago's defence staunch. Bryn Hall is calling in the runners. In fact, he's calling in a back line. Let's go. They drive. They're over. Great line-out drive try for North Harbour, and it's James Parsons who comes up with the goods.
Well, they've been very good at set-piece time, North Harbour. Line-outs particularly operating at 100%. James Parsons, the bloke that chucks it in. He's been accurate, and he's been rewarded for his accuracy at line-out time. The execution was good for Harbour. Otago got set defensively pretty good here, but they were patient. But Parsons is in the boot with the ball under control, and Bryn Hall's driving it from the back. He calls for a little bit of help. They don't need it, the Harbour forward pack. Boy, oh boy, how much of a confidence boost, Bones, is that right on the tick of half-time?
A big one, I think.
Thanks for that, Sumo.
Here's Halangahu. The charge down was on, looking for the points, and he's got the extras. 20 points to 14. What a time to score for Harbour. And they have roared back into this game right on the stroke of half-time. Calvin Middleton will give us some insight into the Otago camp. We just wait for Hayden Parker, and I can see him wandering over now, so let's head down to Calvin Middleton with the Otago first 5.
Yeah, Hayden, disappointing last minute, but boy, you're running some tricky moves out there, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean, we're just trying to get into our game. Every time we've been down there, we've looked pretty good, and yeah, just unfortunate that letting that try in at half-time.
Good kicking yourself, though. You're reasonably happy?
Yeah, we're just trying to turn them around, keep playing field position, and Trent's turned them around quite well from the back, so yeah, it's working well.
Good boy, Quasi. Go and have some orange.
Thank you very much, Bone. Hayden Parker, the Otago first 5, will head into the sheds. Half-time here at Forsyth Bar Stadium. The scoreline, Otago 20, North Harbour 14. Welcome back to Sky Sports coverage of the ITM Cup. Scotty Stevenson, Richard Turner and Calvin Middleton with you here at Forsyth Bar Stadium. Otago leading the game, 20 points to 14. North Harbour have not won here in Dunedin since 2003.
Oh, that's a long time
That's
ago.
11 years, Richard.
Yes,
That is a long time.
Tell you what, Otago out early though, so it must have been a short, sharp message from Coach Tony Brown. North Harbour, on the other hand, just making their way out there now, so Steve Jackson's message to his troops, maybe just a little more, clearly a little more length and time, maybe a lot more to talk about. But I tell you what, he'll be pretty happy that after a first 40 minutes where they were pretty much dominated by this Otago side, that they're still within reach. They've kept themselves in touch.
Well, the message surely to spend a bit more time inside Otago's half. They've shown that once they get into the red zone, they're a chance at points. They've taken 2 tries. Daniel Halangahu will get us underway in the second half. Kay McBride calls time on. Charlie O'Connell waits and collects, the Otago skipper. And a good count from him into the waiting arms of Frank Friganet. Fuatai comes through, chasing well. A double for him in the first half. Walden allowed to run before putting the ball on the boot and finding touch. Harbour thinking of getting on with the job, but nothing doing.
Just quickly, guys, Zach Judge, change for North Harbour, coming on at open side, and Mary Elsic coming off.
Good work. I see Fuatai from the kick chase. Though bringing it back from the line out.
Halangahu hoists this one. Comes down, Renata, right on the halfway line. Gets out of the first tackle, too easy. Zach Judge just bouncing off the Otago fullback.
No, he'd picked it and waited. Thank you.
Coming through, clean steal for North Harbour. Better work. They turned over a lot of pillar to breakdown in the first half, and Brent Hall this time comes up with a rookie error.
Well, looking back into the breakdown as Brent Hall, so I think maybe just a slight communication breakdown there. A good turnover from North Harbour. Just unable to capitalise in it.
Just a quick one before the scrum is hit, guys. Nick Mayhew looks like a wee bit of medial damage in his knee. So, as we said, number 17, Frank Frickanek on.
Crouch! Bind! Set!
So the scrum goes down. Actually, scrums have been pretty good in this game. McBride with a good handle on proceedings.
North Harbour, they were worried about their front row. They're down to their fourth, fifth best propping situation, obviously taking into account Afiaki, Woodcock. So, yeah, they're holding their own strong.
Well, we always knew Parsons was pretty good in this department, and Pleasance Tate has been around. You're right. Mayhew and Frickanet low on experience at this level. O'Connell off the back to Renton, stays inside, gets the ball back. Brent Hall and Zach Judge looking to wrap him up. And again they come through and steal the ball, but Money Header is shut down both by the tackle and the referee's whistle.
Otago keen on the use of the inside ball, but North Harbour awake to it on that occasion, almost affecting a turnover.
Semi-final in 1992. If I'm not mistaken, that was a bit of a classic.
Yeah, it went for a bit longer than a normal game of rugby.
First final, the first playoff game to go to extra time. New Zealand provincial history.
That try in the corner. He's done it. Yeah, that hurt.
Josh Renton, away to Parker. Again, the inside ball working. Again, they find width with Spence. Came right across from the right wing side, and it's Fuatai now cleaning bodies. Here's Latta, bouncing around the place.
No, leave him. Back.
Renton finally digs it out. Parker, what a ball from Parker. Walden now gets out of the first tackle. Parsons across. And Greg Pleasance Tate just put out a big mitt. Got the ball back. Here's Raikuna. Caught from behind. 8 short of the halfway line. Otago again with the turnover play. Josh Renton involved. And the ball is there. Parker. Renata. And Renata finds touch.
I'll take a bow, Lee Allen. That was right in front of me. Absolutely sublime steal.
They're so good in this area of the game, aren't they, Bone? They must practice and practice.
That's it. She's a big hitter. Beautiful steals. This was a quick turnover on both ways, but that's what they do. They do spend a lot of time trying to pinch balls, and when you've got the quality players like Alan O'Connell, Lynchies, who's having a great game at open, and performing a good combination in the loose trio there.
Parsons, this time the defensive throw, and it's stolen. Franklin. Renton knocked down by Greg Pleasance Tate. No choice, Kane McBride, but to penalise offside.
Offside.
Decision time here, Otago. O'Connell to discuss quickly with McBride, but 3 points on offer if they want them. Or do they? Yep, they're happy to push it outside that 7-point margin, Otago. So North Harbour, their first error at line-out time. Got a bit complicated there. Lots of
body movement. And then the failure when it came to the crunch.
%80 for Hayden Parker so far today. If my maths is right, which I think it is. Kicked 85% for the season last year. Very deliberate from Hayden Parker, and why not? There are 3 more points for Otago, 23 plays 14. And a 9-point buffer now over North Harbour. You suspect there's still a couple of chapters left to be written in this game. Halangahu gets us underway, and this one is out on the full. Mistake from Harbour from the kickoff. We'll have the scrum at halfway.
Now we've seen over the past previous 2 nights, there's been errors. Game kickoff out on the full. Disappointing for North Harbour.
It's got soft there, eh?
Yeah, those are killer plays.
No, I'm not.
Team's right in the mixer. And the execution's just got to be so good when you're trying to work your way into territory. Mana header.
Don't want a free kick here, eh? Crouch!
I feel Jim Tuivaiti is going to be crucial over the next few minutes, Pod, if they want to empty the tank or leave him out there. It's his ball carrying that's going to give them that gain line play. And it's a scrum win for Otago off their loose head. O'Connell. Renton. Change of direction. Parker now. Everyone in position. Here's Walden. Walden drops it off. Fuatai got the inside ball back to Renata. And he's held up by James Parsons, but not before the ball is released. Renton again. And McGann's a mile offside. They'll be penalised, but advantage applies for the moment. Renton pops it up to Sauli.
Advantage is over!
Sasagi the man, in fact, and now inside ball to Fuatai. And Harbour get the turnover penalty.
Yeah, made a nice adjustment defensively. North Harbour now very aware of that inside ball from Otago. But in a position defensively that they probably shouldn't have been in, North Harbour, but Otago just looking to exploit. Easy on fire today. Fa'asiu Fuatai.
Yeah, he's coming on strong, debuted last year, and when you miss the likes of Buxton Popolai, well, how good is it for Otago to bring on a guy like this, Fuatai?
Here's Tuivaiti, man we spoke about. And that's not what they want to see. And he's shrugging it off and he's getting back into his work.
Stay there, eh?
Fuatai was captain of the same King's College first 15. Simon Hickey was first 5 for. According to Mr. Ken Laban. Man who knows pretty much all there is to know about college footy in this country.
In the air.
Yeah, plenty of movement down here on the sideline. Expect some changes coming up soon.
So a good kick from Daniel Halangahu. And Tuivaiti just collapsed. What's happened there?
Sniper. Have a look for a sniper, Bones.
Someone's got him in row G.
Well, if there is one, it'll be around here.
Taken by Zach Judge at the front of the line. Out, Bryn Hall clears away. Off his wing is Tavita Lee, who has been a little bit MIA since scoring that try, and he concedes a penalty for holding on.
Yeah, Bryn Hall blowing up, and rightly so. All his forwards went running off looking for, or looking to be the next ball carrier, but the job hadn't been done at the breakdown. Again, at the breakdown, turnovers 1, Otago now getting that up to 8. And 8 very crucial ones, just stemming any sort of momentum that North Harbour are trying to build. A brief period inside their own half. Have a look here. So TVTEAM into the contact, and all the North Harbour forwards, no one there. They've all gone left and right, most of them to the right. No one in there doing the job. Finally,
Why would you do that?
a reaction to it.
Good line-out win for Otago. Here's Tay Walden, pops it up for O'Connell. Look from Lee Allen on his shoulder, but again the penalty. Things starting to get a little ragged as teams get ahead of themselves at breakdown time.
Hayden Triggs just continues to work very hard. On this occasion at the breakdown, coming through, upsetting Otago. And a very, very good off-season acquisition for North Harbour.
I agree. You know what you get with Triggs. You just get 80 minutes of effort. Sort of guy who'll do the jobs that no one else wants to do. And this time he wins one at the back of the line out. Chance. Better run from Tuitavaki. We just haven't seen the strike runners of this Harbour side often enough. Triggs again cleaning up the scraps. Pops it up for Devsic. Hall. Manahira. And Manahira is shut down on a tackle of Franklin. McGann. Tay Walden's all over him. McGann has not been able to impose himself on the game. Nansen now, this time 2 on him. Joe Latter is opposite. Otago marking up here. Raikuna taken in the tackle of Tay Walden. And Walden thinks it's a turnover Otago's way, not McBride, however.
Oh, he had his hands on it. The Otago player with their open side launches. And here's Manahira into contact and big driving tackle. Franklin. And Harbour actually went backwards through 3 phases.
Exactly what I was just about to pick up. They had that line out there right on halfway. Plenty of phases. And they're exactly back where they started. Good defence from Otago.
Crouch!
Staggered backline set up for North Harbour. Raikuna is coming to midfield. Stationed behind Muffy Tuitavaki. And somehow they managed to sprint to the Otago scrum and go straight through the middle. Here's Nansen. Good run from Brandon Nansen. Sets play for Bryn Hall. Now Halengahu finds some width for Tuitavaki. Trying to get outside. Spence can't find the support. And again it's a turnover as Otago swoop on the ball. Fuatai. Renton thought about the box kick but couldn't get himself in the right position. Parker does the honours and Manahira is going back. Good take over the shoulder. Here's Tavita Lee. And Lee taken well by Joe Latter, who stood his ground. Harbour again, running out of options. The kick is the play. Fuatai feeds Renata. And Renata tries to milk a penalty out of Kay McBride. Nothing doing. The bounce is favourable. Fuatai chasing down Halengahu. To say this game has opened up is an understatement.
Leave it down, Blue! Leave him 5.
Back inside the 22. Here's McGann. Renata. Trent Renata returns the fire. And that bounce is awkward. for McGann. McGann slips out of the tackle of Renata, offloads. Here's Raikkonen. Straight over the top went Collins. Lynchies was there as well. Flat ball, Parsons. Gets support. Fikane was there, now to Vita Lee. They're awake to his threat pod. Turnover play. Play on is the call. Harbour still in possession. Otago could not get the turnover cleanly. Harbour have regathered. Now Halangahu will kick the ball away. Not entirely sure you needed to, Daniel. Josh Renton. All the time in the world, and he'll clear for touch. And the pressure valve is released.
3 minutes still to go in this game.
I'll tell you what, talk about take a breather. Take a breather, Sumo, and a couple of the guys on the field going to take a breather as well. Lee Allen coming off, and TJ Ioane getting on for his impact session, and Hisa Sasagi coming off, and Don Bridgehouse coming on, number 17.
He's had a good game, Lee Allen. Been very industrious at the breakdown for Otago.
Not a bad bloke to bring on. Neither's this guy. Brighouse out of the Marison Pats Club in Wellington. New Zealand Colt last year. Comes south looking for a chance. And he is a sizable chunk. Parsons finds Triggs. That combination's been great. Here's Bryn Hall. Gets it back for Triggs. Triggs with the offload. Tuvaiti got his pass away. Off the deck from Greg Pleasance-Tate. Still there, Halangahu. Almost through the tackle of Joe Latta before he's dragged down just short of the 22. Devsic. McGann. Coltman makes the tackle on him. Triggs popped it back up. We're at least in fourth gear in this match. Things are getting hectic. Halangahu, inside ball this time to David Raikkonen. Nansen puts the head down. 20 short of the line. Still they come. Nafi Tuatavake. Strong run from the centre. Back for Bryn Hall. Straight over the top to Halangahu. Now McGann. McGann with a width ball, and they can't hold on.
Well, a promising 7 phases. Just the attempt at the 8th wasn't so good for North Harbour. A couple of low numbers caught out wide. Coming up straight after this will be an absolute ripper. Canterbury versus Auckland. Talk about traditional battles. There's one of them, Wellington versus Waikato. A little bit of unknown there. Wellington without a lot of the number 1 players. Waikato a bit of an unknown. And then the big one, can't wait. Cannot wait.
Renton got a pass away. It was fairly dusty, but Renata did well to pick it up. Now Raikkonen waits, gets it on the half. Here goes David. Good tackle on him from Charlie O'Connell, the captain. He spills the ball, but going backwards, says Kay McBride. Howls of discontent from the Otago crowd. Judge, he has the ball ripped away. This time it is lost forward. Now the turnover, now numbers. Walden kicks ahead for Spence. Spence is winning the race, but Vita Lee found the extra yard of gas and puts a kick into touch.
Turnovers here as Harbour this time bones to the bench.
Yeah, look at that, guys. Plenty of changes going on. We've got Ray Nuria coming on, Parsons coming off. Also for Otago, plenty of numbers going on. Nick Ely going on, Josh Renton coming off. Also, we've got Jackson Hemipo going on, Joe Latta from Owaka coming off. And see if there's any others. I'm throwing them out there.
Do you know, I've never heard of Owaka before, and we went past the turn-off to Owaka today, and now I see if there is somebody from Owaka.
Yeah, there is.
Wow.
Joe Latta from Owaka.
There you go.
Just briefly, guys. Sorry,
Stolen away! Here's a chance for Otago. What a play from Sayuli. Now TJ Ioane. Surely, Kane, you're in the best position.
Well, I cannot believe that this is not a try. How did he not score that is the question.
But North Harbour, well, they've been guilty. Well, they've been guilty. I was going to say they've been guilty in the last couple of minutes of just gifting Otago the ball. It's been the real problem for them throughout this match, to be fair. But they're going to come upstairs to Chris Hart, the TMO.
Harty, Chris.
But their inability to cherish possession, North Harbour.
Potential knock on at the line out.
So there's a few things to check. We're going to have a look at the finish here. But they're going to have to come back because referee Kane McBride wants to look for a possible knock-on at the line-out.
And just on first look, TJ Ioane did not look like he's got that ball down. Here's the line-out. And that is a fingertip knock-on from Lynchies.
Yeah, hang on, just watch this one,
So
Hardy.
the grounding is irrelevant.
Yeah, we'll go with it. What do you got from
Great awareness from Aki Sauli. And completely ripped the ball out of Ray Nguya's hands.
I try, knock on. Let's go, boys.
Would he be the best impact player going round, TJ Ioane? I mean, he's become a specialist, so good that he doesn't get a start. He's so good off the bench that coaches don't put him in their starting lineup.
Crouch!
You've got to have a guy coming off at this time in a game who has the dynamism and the explosiveness to break tackles on tired defences. That's exactly what TJ does so well. I think of Jordan Taufua when he came on for Canterbury a couple of seasons ago. Same sort of style. Charlie O'Connell finds Hayden Parker. Now Tay Walden. He's been brilliant today. Fuatai. 5 in from touch. 15 out from the North Harbour line. Ely on for Renton. Nick Ely on debut out of the Wild Knights Club in Japan. They've lost the ball this time, Otago. That is a poor kick. And so we'll come back for the scrum.
Well, at pace of this game, Kelvin really starting to take its toll. Players down, stretching, cramps starting to set in.
Well, that's exactly it. No matter how much pre-season training you do, nothing can prepare you for the physical intensity of the ITM Cup. And as we say that, Coltman, he's hit his mark tonight, going off with Sam Anderson-Heather from the Dunedin club. Mighty Shark coming on for a bit of a run.
Not fully set, have that gap still.
Job done. Liam Coltman, 100% accuracy at line-out time. So be happy with that. Otago scrum growing throughout this match into a dominant set piece. So a good day, core positional responsibility-wise for Coltman, and he's got around and done everything else as well.
Messi at the back. Bryn Hall has to clean it up. Just the one penalty in the second half, but it hasn't been short of entertainment. Pleasance Tate. Rather laboured delivery to Daniel Halangahu. And he finds his touch. Straight on with the job we go again. Otago. Mike Collins. Stepped inside the first tackle. Can't get away from Hayden Triggs, who's left on the deck. Got up rather gingerly too. Aki Sauli. Full of running today. Here's Ely. Nick Ely pops it up to Franklin. Franklin looking to free the arms. Ely again comes back. Here is TJ Ioane. And Ely hurdling the player to get to the ball. Finds Sauli. Good work from Ray Nguya. Oh, and he runs straight into Brighouse. He is a brick house. Matt McGann. Fuatai. Spence taken down on the 10-metre line. Otago really now trying to stamp their authority on the match. And Jimmy Tuvaidi makes another big tackle. Here's Walden again. Things are getting physical. Parker couldn't connect with Mike Collins. Taken away by Nafi Tuatavake. And Nafi has made his way to midfield. Devsic looking to clear, not happy with his work there, but the bounce is awkward. Fuatai. There are so many broken bodies in this footy field. Spence. Chasing up on his own kick. That's better. Nuffy Tuatavake stays strong in the tackle. Hall. In fact, Tavita Lee is the man. Taken down finally by Charlie O'Connell. Big run again from Ray Nuia. Steve Jackson said he was dynamic. He's a bit more than that. He's a beast. Devsic. Pleasance take. Caught in the tackle of TJ Ioane on the sandy patch in the middle of the field. Devsic playing halfback. Nuia again. Frikane popped it back to Avaiti. Taken by TJ Ioane. Here we go again. Open side play. Halangahu decides to the rubber into touch, and he finds a good touch inside the 22. Percentage play.
And again, just welcome relief. Welcome relief. Chance to fill the lungs. A chance to get some subs on too.
That's the one, yeah. Michael Farmer going on for Jordan Manahira. Oh, don't be surprised, guys. Going to be keeping on rolling on. They are tough and big time out there.
You know what? They've still got 15 minutes to go.
Oh, I'm tired watching this guy.
Harbour, I'll tell you what, they've hung on. And they were just hanging on.
Jim Tuivasa leaves the field. Farmer on. Made his debut in 2008 for North Harbour. Played just 4 games. Back in the fold.
He had an injury that he took a while to recover from, but here's Otago. Just able to free the ball up. This is what I mean. North Harbour just hanging on to the bucket, getting in between his opposite. Michael Collins preventing a try.
Certainly needed to make that play. Oh, great hands, TJ Ioane. No shortage of hits out here either, by the way, on Forsyth Bar, as Parker settles things down with a clearance. 15 minutes of the game remaining. 9 points the lead for the home side.
Quickly, Marshall Suckling back after a year off. Good to see him back on the paddock. And dog roll Spence coming off.
Another enterprising game from Jaden Bone.
Oh, he's been solid. In fact, all those back three, the new partnership there, Renata, absolutely playing very well. They seem to be gelling just like mould.
Triggs at the back of the line-out. It's their go-to play. Here's Raikkonen. Now he has support. Can't find anyone. 2 short of the 22. And they will win the penalty. Now a big decision required from the North Harbour team.
I'll make it for them. You take the points, you go for the 3, and then you're chasing the big prize to win it.
That's the call.
You can see here, was that man Suckling just too keen. Absolutely got peeled on the outside with Tavita Lee.
Oh, they had players. He had players outside him too. David Raikkonen. Vastly experienced player, David Raikkonen. Ben Hall doing a very good job. The skipper's armband here for North Harbour. And Halangahu from the kicking tee's been good, been very good.
Well, so they've had their fair share of breakdowns, haven't they, North Harbour? The territory, again, the concern here, just 33%. It's one thing to play without the ball and to put pressure on the opposite team in possession, but when you've got 2/3 of territory given away to the other side, that makes it tough. And so the 74 breakdowns, where are they on the field?
Yeah,
where
that's right.
Where are you
You're
forced
playing
to
the
play?
game. Yeah, I mean, it's a standard coaching thing. You play the game in the right part of the field. And North Harbour, unfortunately, they've not dominated, but they've had the better in terms of the possession stakes. It's all been in the wrong area. Halanahu's hit the post.
So Mike Collins cleans it up. No change to the scoreline. 23 plays 14. Harbour, though, still inside Otago's red zone. Will look to force here. And Renata, very good clearance again. Trent Renata, very composed at the back for Otago this afternoon. Devsic got away from Lynchies. Couldn't get away from the next tackler. And Otago's defensive line is up quick and it's up flat and it's making its tackles. The ball is held up, so Otago will look to keep this. Kane McBride says one stoppage, gives the scrum feed to the defensive side. Smart play.
Sam Anderson here, the right in the mix of that. Pleased to know the same old things crop up down here on the sideline. Mouth guards. Got to have a mouth guard in, boys.
Half, stand straight.
Well, why wouldn't you, for starters?
It's only there for your own benefit.
Sit.
The dentist will be happy not to hear that. Haven't got them on.
Number 1.
The penalty goes against Greg Pleasance-Tate. Straight down. We have been spoiled, really, at scrum time this afternoon. Very few penalties. 11 scrums in total, just a handful of resets. The game's had a good flow. Parker. Easy meters for Quasi as he aims up on the 22 and will form the line out right on the strike.
Yep, they'll send limited numbers to it too, Otago. Couple of big boys lurking around the midfield, looking to carry the ball up, set a target.
Interesting to see TJ Ioane out wide here with Charlie O'Connor. 3 penalty tries in the 1999 game. That's not keeping the referee out of it.
Number 10 off for North Harbour. Had a good game. And also we've got Dennis Filipnado coming on.
Well, they try the same move. This time they're awake to the threat. The North Harbour defence. Marshall Suckling was the last man in the chain. Sayuli, who's been throwing himself about over the last 10 minutes. Here's Franklin. Kept the arms free, and it's Tay Walden who has to go in and try to clean Bryn Hall. Can't do so, but they still win the ball. TJ Ioane into the tackle of Ray Nguya. Early can't get there quickly enough, and a turnover again, this time in North Harbour's favour. McGann taken well by Jackson Himmelport. And the ball is there somewhere. Not that you'd know it. It's Ely who's going to run in and get it. And how that came back on Otago's side is beyond me. Parker drops it off. Tay Walden again. Ely harassed by Pleasance-Tate. Parker almost slipped through the tackle of McGann. Anderson header. Collins. Big numbers on the right-hand side. Can they get it wide? TJ Ioane throws the ball. Lynchies on debut. And the open side flanker who was denied in the first half will not be denied twice. Big moment to score.
Well, we're happy about it too, and why not? He's had a good afternoon. Well, it was a bit of a battle for possession that ultimately Otago won. They went left, wide, had an opportunity, got shut down, and then they came wide right and just had too many numbers eventually. In the end for Otago, just an attrition game. And that will pretty much lock it up for Otago and cost me dinner at Best Cafe tonight.
We'll be looking forward to it too.
Middleton's got in on this as well, has he?
Come on, we're all a team, you guys.
His producer Marcus Hildyard has rolled you, Richard Turner. Hayden Parker from the sideline. Wouldn't bet against him. Likes it. Turns and it's away.
Serious and taking boys there.
Well, he turned very quickly in the manner of a successful kicker. But he obviously knew it wasn't going over and didn't want to see the result. 28 plays, 14. 2 tries the difference here with 7.5 remaining.
So some concerns for Michael Collins. And I think he will actually leave the field. Looks like a cramp more than anything else, so they'll try and get a replacement on, but they'll have to wait till he leaves the field, and he's not moving that quickly.
Is there someone on for 13, Hardy?
Well, they've still got some big names in the back line to bring back into action as well. Otago, I mentioned Kieran Moffat earlier, popped a rib against Southland pre-season, so he'll be a couple of weeks away.
Jaden Spence going on.
Well, Dogrel thought his day was done. He's come out for more, not that he'll be complaining. Loves his code. Hemmelpool fed the ball up to Seuli. Yearly. And Tuivaiti cannot handle it. Just got caught out of position. Oh, Bridgehouse, where are you going?
He's keeping on going.
Wow. Parker with a dive pass in midfield. Unorthodox. Jaden Spence. Lynchies feeds it up to TJ Ioane, taken down by Nansen. He's put in a shift. Tay Walden with the kick through. Tavita Lee charged down into touch. It's not going to be North Harbour's day. One field.
Now they got Brendan Nansen. I think that's down. Jim Tuivaiti looking for a medic as well after the big hit from Don Brighouse. I'll get a good look at it here.
Well, it wasn't the first big hit or big collision we've seen in the game. There's been a fair few of them. Here's Ray Nuia. Here's Big Donny. Loves putting a shot on.
Well, I mean, we talked about TJ Ioane being an impact player. So is Ray Nuia, and there he is here, Ioane.
There's Bridges. Tuivaiti would not have enjoyed that. Turned into a Juddabar in the 73rd minute of the match. Bryn Hall. Here's Tuivaiti again, this time on offence, but they're a long way from home, North Harbour. In more ways than one. Bryn Hall feeds it up. Now fed to Itavaki, will set play. Picked up by Ray Nuia again. And Otago just will not give them any clean ball to work with. Bryn Hall lets it roll out the back. McGann will get the benefit of the scrum.
Yeah, that big hit has taken effect. To a Taviti coming off. Manahira coming back on. Injury change, and also for Otago, Big Breen coming back on at fullback for a good game from Renata.
Peter Breen, part of the Shield winning side last season. Been around for a few years now.
And it's skipper Bryn Hall on the ground there for North Harbour, so that's another concern for them. Tell you what, I bet you if Kane McBride said, fellas, you had enough, there wouldn't be a bloke out there that would say no.
I spoke to Kane before the game. I said, you're going to be taking some lungfuls today, that is for sure. So it's proved to be. Yeah. First hit out on the perfect deck on a great warm day. You know that they are sucking in the big ones right now. Bryn Hall's day is done.
David Basin coming on for him.
disappointed. It goes without saying. Brent Hall, but he's had a good day behind a Harbour pack that eventually their opposites got on top of them. But he's led well. Been impressed with Brent Hall as a skipper today.
David Basin, the former chief, former Counties Manukau, former Waikato, former Thames Valley halfback. He is the dictionary definition of a journeyman, is our David Basin. Basin, good clearance too, and a chance for Devsich to stretch the legs, but too little too late, and the Otago defence still up to the job. Now Raikuna got on the outside, and a good ball too, up to Pilingaito. Pilingaito again, and Dennis in the tackle of O'Connell, and Sayuli sets the play. Here's Ray Nuia. Pleasance Tate got there quickly, cleared some space for Basin to work in. Now the ball is lost by Farmer. Picked up by Ioane, double knock on as the call. It's probably too early for a post-mortem with 4 minutes remaining on the clock, Pot, but you know, we're seeing signs here of a Harbour resurgent, even in defeat today.
Oh, look, I think they go searching for positives. There's enough out of this one. I think the big negative and the big work on for them is they just need to respect the ball. Too many times we've seen ball carriers just gift the ball back to their opponents. So a little bit more, what's the word, I guess, a bit of urgency about possession and a bit of respectful possession of the ball. Very hard to get it. And when you got it, you've got to work just that bit harder to make sure you just don't gift it back to their opponents. They've had plenty of it, to be fair. So enough positives out of this for North Harbour. Certainly disappointed. Some concerns here, obviously, with this set piece after a good start.
Manahira got the ball away to Basin, and some mystery in the midfield from Harbour this time, but it comes to nothing as Parker scoops it up, found Ely, and Nick Ely clears downfield as far as Raikuna. Raikuna trying to take on the line. Can't get past the tackle of Hemmelpool. Basin. Good service from David Basin. And Judge out wide, toying with the touchline and over. And those are the things you speak of. Now a real sense of urgency for Harbour as they chase a bonus point. As it stands, they'll go away with nothing from Forsyth Bar today. But remember, a converted try gives them at least a point in a losing effort.
Tom Franklin quickly coming off. Joe Ladder replacing him again. Another injury call. Injuries, story of the day. First game in.
I wonder how many of them are fatigue related too, Bone. This game has been played at some pace.
Oh, I'll tell you what, there's plenty of sweat down here on the sideline.
Stay dry, mate.
All right, let's go.
And one thing too, it hasn't been a big crowd here, but they've been boisterous enough, as always, indoors here at Forsyth Bar Stadium. But the local fans, surely on inspection of this game, will be assured that their team will play some entertaining and open football. And that one is knocked on by TJ Ioane, so things just coming apart at the seams slightly. Don't forget, next weekend, the big Shield Challenge. Ranfurly Shield on the line for the first time this season, in ITM Cup at least. Thames Valley and Mid-Canterbury having already had challenges against Counties Manukau. And I know there's a big contingent of Otago supporters planning the trip north next weekend. We're leading into the test match at Eden Park, but supporters down here only have one thing on their mind, and that's getting the log of wood back in town. You certainly know what it did for the province last season. What an occasion it was here, that Hawke's Bay game. What a season for the Shield. Ely gets it on a second grab. Walden, short ball, found Spence. Charlie O'Connell. Still go. Looked away to Lynchies. He has had a very good debut. The open side flanker. Yearly. Back for O'Connell. Thought about throwing a wide ball back in to the open side. Took the tackle instead. Basin was trying to get his hands on the ball. Parker found his man. Again, it's Walden. Now here's Marshall Suckling. He's got players inside. Marshall Suckling trying to get there himself. And the ball has been lost.
Well, he didn't get there, Marshall Suckling, but I like what he was thinking. He just backed himself. He knew he had players inside him, but he just backed himself. Wasn't far away.
Get up, boys, get up!
Well, they get on with the job. Farmer won the line out. Here's Manahira. Basin. Just desperate for a way out of their own red zone here, North Harbour. Here's Lee. Tavita Lee! Straight up the middle of the field. Tavita gets an arc on. Can't get away from the cover defence. Just short of the halfway line. Still a chance here for Harbour. How much do they want the bonus point? Pilingaitel. Straight through the middle. Easiest metres he'll make today, but they've lost the ball in contact. A hip toss thrown in. Cade McBride says knock on. And let's be done.
Well, job done. Otago, I'll tell you what, there's 30 blokes out in the middle there that couldn't have welcomed that final whistle from referee McBride.
Pretty happy to see the end of the game. The players, we've been entertained this afternoon at Forsyth Bar. Otago have taken the spoils. They'll get the victory, 28 points to 14.